Chosen one, this message did not find you by accident. God guided you here because something momentous occurred in the spiritual realm. Something divine, something major, something that directly concerns your identity, your destiny, and your next chapter. A heavenly council recently gathered on your behalf, and your name was spoken with purpose. Your life is shifting right now because heaven has officially released a decision, a verdict, and an elevation concerning you. Before we dive deeply into this powerful truth, please ensure you like, share, and subscribe. This message is more than just content. It is a divine confirmation for the chosen ones whose names echoed through the heavenly realms. And a sincere thank you to everyone supporting this work through Super Thanks. May God bless you richly. Your presence, your engagement, and your faithfulness are truly recognized and honored. To all of you who consistently watch, listen, and align with these prophetic messages, I am profoundly grateful. If your spirit resonates with this frequency, please type the number 77 in the comments right now. That number is not random. It serves as a sacred signal, confirming that your spirit is perfectly aligned with heaven's current movement. It is a sign that you are truly ready to receive the breakthrough, the clarity, the protection, and the spiritual elevation that were all released when the heavenly council called your name. Not everyone who starts watching this will make it to the very end of this message. Only the truly chosen, the spiritually awakened, the ones whose destiny is actively moving into a higher dimension will remain. Those who stay will gain profound clarity, a deeper awareness, and crucial, prophetic insight about the spiritual meeting that took place just for them. This is not information you simply hear once and then forget. This is a living word, a spiritual blueprint actively unfolding piece by piece in your life. I encourage you to watch it again whenever your spirit guides you back, because every time you return to this message, another layer of revelation will rise to the surface, showing you just how powerful and final heaven's decision over your life truly is. Chosen one, something significant is happening in the spirit realm that your physical eyes were unable to witness, but your deepest soul definitely felt. Heaven never gathers casually. Heaven never moves without a precise intention, and heaven does not speak your name unless something truly monumental is shifting in your destiny's timeline. Understand this: before anything changes in your physical world, it is first decided, thoroughly discussed, and officially decreed in the spiritual realm. And very recently your name was the focus of a heavenly council. Your current assignment was brought forward. Your personal timeline was closely examined. Your life's purpose was significantly elevated. Even though your physical body was resting, your spirit was present in that heavenly room. Even though your eyes were closed in sleep, your soul heard its name whispered across all of eternity. Even though your conscious mind was unaware, your destiny felt the powerful vibration of divine movement. Heaven gathered because a new phase of your unique calling is being activated. A phase that demands divine ordering, divine intervention, divine protection, and a major divine release. Your steps are currently being recalibrated. Your path is being spiritually rewritten. Your spiritual authority is actively being increased. Your assignment is officially being upgraded. This is precisely why the spiritual atmosphere around your life has felt heavier, deeper, and more intensely focused. This is why your emotions have been shifting so suddenly. This is why your discernment has become sharply refined. This is why you felt disconnected from old environments, old habits, and old people. It wasn't just a simple mood swing. It wasn't mere confusion. It wasn't random chance. Your spirit sensed the heavenly meeting you were spiritually summoned to attend. Your inner world shifted because heaven touched your timeline. Your desires changed because heaven altered your direction. Your relationships shifted because heaven rearranged your alignment. Your energy transformed because heaven elevated your assignment. You have been feeling a profound, divine restlessness, a powerful pull towards something greater, a deep discomfort in your old familiar spaces, a rising urgency in your spirit, a necessary separation from what no longer aligns with your calling, and a deep, internal knowing that something truly significant is unfolding. These sensations are concrete evidence that heaven has already intervened. When heaven holds a meeting about a chosen one, everything in their life immediately begins to reconfigure itself. Not to punish them, but to position them. Not to isolate them, but to elevate them. Not to confuse them, but to clarify their purpose. Chosen one, grasp this truth with your entire being. Heaven does not gather for the ordinary. Heaven does not gather for the distracted. Heaven does not gather for the average. Heaven gathers for the chosen. The council met because your assignment carries significant weight. Your presence carries spiritual authority. Your destiny carries profound impact. Your calling carries generational significance. You have finally reached a point in your journey where advancement is absolutely necessary. Heaven has decreed that it is time for you to step into a new level of purpose, a new level of power, and a new level of spiritual identity. The meeting was a spiritual announcement, a signal. It is time. Prepare them, elevate them, protect them, and guide them fully into their next assignment. Chosen one, the reason your life feels so different is because heaven has already shifted it. You are not merely walking into a new chapter. The chapter has already opened for you. You are simply catching up to what heaven has already declared. Chosen one, when the heavenly council gathered, they did not look at your life casually. They did not simply skim through your story like an ordinary file. They meticulously reviewed every single detail, every moment, every wound, and every single decision you made in the dark, especially when no one was there to applaud you. Nothing you have endured was overlooked. Nothing was forgotten. Nothing was dismissed as unimportant. Heaven saw every single one of your tears, the ones you cried privately when you felt too exhausted to keep going another day. Heaven honored your endurance, the specific moments where you wanted to completely quit, but something deep inside your spirit refused to break. Heaven recognized your silent suffering, the trials and burdens you never told anyone about, the pain you expertly hid behind a mask of strength. Heaven recorded your obedience, the countless times you chose kindness when others were cruel, the times you chose to forgive when no apology ever came, the times you truly listened to God, even when that choice cost you relationships, comfort, or understanding from others. Heaven celebrated your faithfulness, the consistency you maintained when life became unpredictable and chaotic, the unwavering loyalty you showed when people actively betrayed you, the faith you held on to tightly when everything around you suggested you should simply give up. They reviewed every battle you fought in the dark, the intense mental battles, the persistent emotional warfare, the sudden spiritual attacks that came out of nowhere, the storms that attempted to swallow you whole, the setbacks that seemed unbearably unfair, the betrayals that cut deeply into your soul, the delays that severely tested your patience, the devastating losses that challenged your core faith. Each one of these moments was brought before the council. Each one was examined under the light of truth. Each one was weighed with absolute spiritual accuracy. They saw clearly how you survived situations others would have utterly collapsed under. They saw how you managed to remain pure-hearted in environments that were intentionally trying to harden and corrupt you. They saw how you consistently chose love, integrity, and truth, even when deep darkness surrounded you on every side. They saw how you refused to retaliate, refused to curse your purpose, refused to abandon your calling, and refused to lose yourself to bitterness. And when heaven finished the full review of your battles and your endurance, the clear verdict echoed powerfully through the spiritual realm. You remained faithful. You remained pure. You remained aligned. You remained chosen. You didn't know your tests were being actively witnessed. You didn't know your integrity was being seen and recorded. You didn't know your tears were being meticulously collected. You didn't know your perseverance was being carefully measured. But heaven saw it all. Every sacrifice, every refusal to break your character, every single moment where you chose light over darkness, every time you held onto your faith with trembling hands. And because of that unwavering stance, the council ruled decisively in your favor. Your endurance has now qualified you for the next step. Your purity has perfectly positioned you for elevation. Your resilience has permanently marked you for distinction. Your obedience has actively elevated your status. Your faithfulness has opened doors you don't even know exist yet. Chosen one, heaven has declared you worthy of this next major chapter. You are not simply seen, you were approved. You were not just tested, you passed with flying colors. You were not just observed, you were truly celebrated. This profound ruling is the exact reason why your life is shifting so powerfully right now. Heaven has decided it is now time to reward what you silently endured. The supernatural release into your life didn't happen in the physical world first. It happened in the spirit realm. Heaven issued a powerful decree. A divine order went out. An instruction was released, stamped with your name. The moment that command was spoken, your entire timeline began to shift. Something powerful broke open around you. A shift, a breakthrough, a lifting, a major release, a complete realignment, an acceleration, a divine green light. This was not a random emotional moment. This was not a sudden change of mood. This was not your imagination playing tricks on you. This was spiritual authorization. Your atmosphere changed first. Something heavy lifted completely off your spirit, almost like a massive weight you didn't even realize you were carrying. Barriers that once surrounded you began to crack and crumble. Invisible resistance began to visibly weaken. Your path changed. The precise direction of your life subtly but powerfully realigned. Steps you were unsure about suddenly feel crystal clear. Options you didn't see before have instantly begun to appear. Chosen one, your positioning changed. Heaven has moved you into a completely new spiritual location, one that is marked by more authority, more clarity, more divine favor, and significantly more divine support. You may still be physically in the same house or city, but spiritually, you have risen to a much higher level. Your timeline changed profoundly. What was once delayed is now being rapidly accelerated. What felt stuck is now being released into motion. What was moving slowly is now gaining unstoppable momentum. What felt utterly impossible is now becoming readily reachable. Heaven authorized the very movement your countless prayers have been preparing for. They unlocked stubborn doors that once refused to open for you. They removed obstacles you didn't even know were silently blocking your progress. They dismantled powerful spiritual barriers that were actively resisting your elevation. They loosened heavy chains that kept you repeating old destructive cycles. They canceled generational delays tied to generations that came before you. They completely shifted the atmosphere so that your destined blessings could finally locate you. This is precisely why you feel lighter today. Your spirit recognizes the shift even before your logical mind fully grasps it. This is why you feel clearer in your thoughts and decisions. Your spiritual vision has been powerfully upgraded. This is why you feel more hopeful about the future. Your destiny is rapidly opening up. This is why you feel more aware and intuitive. Your discernment has been elevated to a new rank. This is why you sense something new approaching on the horizon. Because it absolutely is. What you are feeling, right? Now is the spiritual confirmation that heaven officially voted in your favor. Your season of waiting was fully reviewed and has officially ended. Your intense warfare was examined and judged complete. Your preparation was carefully measured and found entirely sufficient. The council gathered. Your name was spoken. Your destiny was approved. And the profound shift was released. Chosen one, this is not the beginning of something small or ordinary. This is the magnificent unfolding of something monumental in your life. You are actively stepping into a version of your life you never even dared to imagine, because God Himself authorized it for you. When the heavenly council gathered and your name was called out, it was not spoken with sorrow or concern. It was not whispered in disappointment or frustration. No, your name was spoken with honor, with deep reverence, and with profound spiritual respect. Heaven did not look at you as someone barely surviving life's challenges. Heaven looked at you as someone who definitively overcame, as someone who walked straight through fire and emerged entirely refined, as someone who was relentlessly attacked, yet never once surrendered their soul, as someone who always had the choice for darkness, but consistently kept choosing the light. Your name was spoken with honor precisely because of what you endured. Not the easy things, but the severe storms that shattered others, the battles that would have crushed ordinary souls, the difficult seasons that pushed you into depths you didn't even know you could survive. They honored you because you continued to grow spiritually, even when life relentlessly tried to break you emotionally. They honored you because when spiritual attacks came, you did not become bitter or hardened. You didn't retaliate against others. You didn't lose your core character. You didn't abandon your divine assignment. They honored you because when temptation came knocking forcefully, you stayed pure. You protected your precious heart. You flat out refused to compromise the sacred calling God placed on your life. They honored you because when elevation and success finally arrived, you stayed humble. You didn't forget where God powerfully brought you from. You didn't misuse or abuse your influence. You didn't change your core character to match your external success. They honored you because when God's presence seemed to go silent, you still trusted Him deeply. You still prayed faithfully. You still waited patiently. You still believed firmly. You still held on tightly when it made absolutely no logical sense to do so. Chosen one, your internal strength impressed all of heaven. Not the strength you showed publicly, but the strength you perfectly demonstrated privately. The strength required to truly forgive deep wounds, even when you never received a single apology. The strength to completely rebuild yourself after being violently torn down. The strength to rise immediately after every single fall. The strength to stay soft and compassionate in a world that constantly tried to harden you. The strength to walk alone when people abandoned you without a second thought. Heaven reviewed your character, your key decisions, your intense battles, your hidden scars, and declared that your endurance has permanently expanded your spiritual rank. You weren't simply surviving life. You were actively qualifying yourself. You were maturing intentionally. You were being promoted in the spirit realm. Your obedience has directly increased your authority. Every time you listened to God's quiet voice, instead of listening to fear, your authority increased exponentially. Every time you followed truth instead of yielding to temptation, your authority increased. Every time you chose faith over frustrating negativity, your authority increased. Your name now carries significant weight in the spiritual realm. Not because of earthly status, not because of titles, not because of earthly achievements, but because heaven saw how you handled adversity and declared you worthy of profound honor. When your name was spoken in the council, it echoed with reverence. It resonated with victory. It carried the sweet fragrance of someone who endured with dignity. It held the core strength of someone chosen for even deeper, more significant assignments. Chosen one, your name was not spoken with pity. Your name was spoken with respect, because you truly earned it in the unseen battles that no one knew about and the personal victories that only heaven fully witnessed. One of the most significant reasons the Heavenly Council gathered was to powerfully strengthen, reinforce, and elevate your spiritual protection. You were not called into a higher assignment without heaven immediately increasing your divine covering. When your destiny shifts, your protection must shift with it. The intense warfare you experienced in recent weeks was not random chance. Those sudden heavinesses you felt were not imagined. The pressure on your mind was not accidental. The unusual attacks on your emotions were not mere coincidences. You were being targeted because you were getting too close to breakthrough, too close to revelation, too close to alignment, too close to the next level of your sacred calling. The enemy sensed your imminent advancement before you fully realized it yourself. So he attacked relentlessly to distract you, weaken you, confuse you, or pull you violently off course. But heaven saw the warfare. Heaven directly intercepted the attacks. Heaven fully understood the high-stakes assignment on your life, and heaven responded with undeniable authority. During the council meeting, a clear order was released: re-establish their protection, strengthen their covering, shield their destiny. So heaven issued new angels for new levels. Each level of your sacred assignment requires a different, specific level of spiritual reinforcement. You were given angels specifically, equipped for the new kind of warfare attached to your next season. You now have reinforced protection against future attacks. New layers of spiritual defense have been placed around you, preventing certain spiritual threats from even reaching your immediate atmosphere. A powerful divine shield is now around your purpose. Your calling is now guarded more fiercely than ever before. What once could deeply shake you no longer has the same level of access or power. A spiritual hedge surrounds your mind, emotions, and key relationships. Where you once felt vulnerable, overly sensitive, and unsettled, you will begin to feel calm, grounded and secure in the spirit. Emotional attacks that once pierced, you will immediately begin to lose their power and strength. A sacred seal has been placed around your destiny. What is truly meant for you cannot be stolen, delayed, or derailed by any force. And this is precisely why things have changed so noticeably in your life. This is why you suddenly feel safer, even without fully understanding the logical reason why. This is why disturbing dreams have stopped completely or lost their previous intensity. This is why old, worn-out temptations no longer pull on you the way they once did. This is why certain people, especially those misaligned with your divine calling, fell away so easily, without confrontation, without conversation, without any explanation needed. This is why your spirit feels lighter, clearer, and profoundly more protected. Heaven moved, heaven intervened, heaven securely locked your soul into its destiny. No matter what you face, the powerful decree over your life now is untouchable by darkness, guarded by heaven, chosen for victory. Your spiritual rank increased, so your protection increased. Your assignment elevated, so your covering elevated. Your destiny advanced, so your spiritual shield advanced. Chosen one, you are not walking into the next chapter unprotected. Heaven has already secured your path, your heart, your mind, your purpose, and your entire future. Chosen one, after your name was spoken in the heavenly council, something truly extraordinary took place. Heaven did not simply honor your endurance or reinforce your protection. They officially issued new instructions concerning your life, your purpose, and your immediate next chapter. These are not mere suggestions. These are divine directives, spiritual downloads, and destiny-coded commands, specifically designed to move you powerfully into your higher assignment. You may not hear these instructions in an audible physical voice. You may not wake up to spectacular angelic proclamations. Instead, heaven speaks directly to your spirit, subtly shifting your inner world so that your outer world can perfectly follow suit. These new instructions will powerfully manifest as a shift in your core desires. Suddenly, the things that once intensely interested you no longer satisfy you at all. Your soul is actively being separated from anything that cannot support where God is taking you next. Expect a distinct change in your interests. New passions, new goals, and new ambitions will begin rising within you. Ideas you never considered before are awakening because they align perfectly with your next chapter. You may feel a pull toward new environments. You may be strongly urged to relocate, physically, emotionally, or spiritually. Places that once felt comfortable now suddenly feel too small for you. Expect a desire for deeper spiritual practices. You feel naturally drawn toward prayer, meditation, fasting, scripture study, worship, or solitude in ways you never did before. This is your spirit upgrading its system. You will feel an urge to disconnect from distractions. Suddenly, excessive noise irritates you. Drama utterly exhausts you. Chaos instantly drains your energy. Heaven is diligently clearing your atmosphere for your benefit. You will experience a sudden burst of clarity or direction. Random ideas that come out of nowhere. That is heaven speaking directly to you. Inspiration that feels too deep and profound to be your own. That is divine guidance. A new sense of purpose or a rising urgency will grip you. You feel like time is moving faster, like something significant is calling you forward, like you are required elsewhere, either spiritually or physically. This is heaven synchronizing your spirit with your next assignment. And along with these powerful shifts, you may feel a calling to move forward. Not always physically, but sometimes mentally, emotionally, or spiritually. Heaven is powerfully pulling you into perfect alignment. Expect a sense that elevation is truly near. A quiet, internal knowing that your life is about to shift in a major way. You cannot fully explain it, but you can definitely feel it coming. You will feel a push to release old cycles. Destructive patterns you once tolerated now feel suffocating. Cycles you once repeated now feel impossible to return to. A desire to strongly protect your energy will rise. You become more selective, more aware, and far more discerning about who you allow close to you. Not everyone can walk with you into where you are going. A hunger for spiritual growth will take over. Your soul wants nourishment. Your spirit wants depth. Your mind wants truth. You are rapidly maturing intentionally. You will feel a need for peace and isolation. You crave quiet spaces, stillness, and reflection, not because you're sad, but because God is actively speaking to you. Finally, expect a fresh wave of creativity. New ideas, new strategies, new visions, new inspiration. Your spiritual gifts are activating at significantly higher levels than before. Chosen one, these are not random emotions or fleeting thoughts. These are not signs of confusion or doubt. These are divine instructions actively unfolding inside you. Each feeling is a spiritual nudge from the divine. Each shift is a heavenly move to prepare you. Each new desire is a coded message directly from your assignment. Heaven is aligning you internally before shifting you externally. Everything you are feeling right now is actively guiding you toward your next chapter, one that requires your full obedience, your heightened awareness, and your complete elevation. When the heavenly council gathered and your name was spoken, something irreversible was declared over your life. Heaven made one thing unmistakably clear: your spiritual rank has shifted. Your purpose has expanded. Your path has elevated. Your favor has multiplied. What once resisted your progress will now yield to you. What once confused you will now make perfect sense. What once felt stagnant will now rapidly accelerate. You are not stepping back into the life you knew. You are stepping into a completely new dimension of authority and alignment. You are entering a new dimension of spiritual authority. Your prayers will carry more weight than ever before. Your discernment will sharpen immediately. Demonic interference will instantly weaken in your presence. Your very words will hold power because heaven has validated your voice. Expect a stronger anointing. Gifts that were dormant will awaken suddenly. Spiritual abilities you didn't even know you possessed will rise to the surface. Your spirit will operate from a higher frequency because your calling fiercely requires it. Expect a clearer identity. Confusion is breaking off your mind and spirit. You will know definitively who you are, why you were chosen, and what you were sent to do. Doubt will finally lose its grip on your identity. Expect a higher calling. Assignments that once seemed far too big will now feel natural and comfortable. God is calling you to bigger rooms, deeper, more meaningful relationships, higher levels of influence, and greater spiritual responsibility. Expect a deeper alignment. Your desires, habits, lifestyle, and decisions will begin to effortlessly match your destiny. Misalignment will feel uncomfortable because your spirit has fully matured. Expect a faster pace of breakthrough. What once took years to achieve will now take months or even weeks. Delays have been cancelled forever. Acceleration has been activated. Momentum is now your portion. Expect a stronger connection to heaven. Your intuition will heighten significantly. Your dreams will carry important messages. Your spirit will instantly sense divine movement. Communication between you and heaven has dramatically increased. Expect a new level of protection that is unbreakable. Attacks that once reached you will now be completely blocked. People who meant you harm will be powerfully removed from your path. Weapons may form, but they simply will not prosper, not at this new rank. Expect a fresh release of favor and provision. Resources will appear unexpectedly. Opportunities will align perfectly. People sent by God will show up right on time. What you truly need will flow toward you without you having to strive for it. Chosen one, your old season has officially ended. Your old identity has expired. Your old battles are completely closed. The heavenly council did not just review your past. They powerfully authorized your future. And no enemy, no person, no delay, no force of darkness can ever reverse what has already been spoken and decreed in heaven. You are entering a chapter where miracles will feel natural. Small prayers will bring big answers. Unexpected blessings will become common occurrences. Doors will open faster and wider. You won't have to beg, force, or chase after things. Access will be freely granted. Because your name now carries significant weight in the spirit realm, breakthroughs will come easier because the strong resistance that once surrounded you has been dismantled. Opportunities will align quicker. What once felt scattered and chaotic will now fall into place with a perfect divine rhythm. Your spirit will feel lighter and free. You won't carry the heaviness of old warfare anymore. You'll move with ease, clarity, and unwavering confidence. Your purpose will finally feel crystal clear. You'll finally understand why you were tested the way you were, and why you had to grow the way you did.